most affected people, or one of the most affected, is William Ruto, that is the deputy president, who has already said that he is going to be on the contest for 2022. Other people who have been saying that they are in this contest have not come out as clearly as he has been. And those who are on his side or his allies are even saying that they are targeted. And one of them who has been very vocal from Mount Kenya is Kimani Ichung'wah, the member of parliament for Kikuyu, who also sits in the budget committee as the chairperson. We will want to have a discussion with him with regards to where are they with regards to budget, and do you feel like you're threatened with the politics that is happening at this particular time?
Well, Kennedy, in regard to the budget process that is ongoing, as you know, Parliament is on a working recess now up to the end of this month. A working recess meaning that members have now retreated to their committees to work on the budget estimates. And as late as this Thursday, we had an engagement with the National Treasury. My committee and a number of chairs of the departmental committees, basically to just engage on the budget process and look at what we thought from the initial analysis that had been left out in the budget. And I'm happy that the National Treasury did come in to rectify some of the few things that we pointed out from the beginning that the National Treasury had left out in the budget. So that's an ongoing process. I am all geared up to finish the process if the opportunity is there to finish. Whether or not I'm worried because of what you people have been reporting, it's you in the media who have been reporting that there are attempts to remove House leadership, remove us from chairing committees, but that is a list of my concerns. I am more concerned now with what we need to do as a country in terms of the budget process to ensure that we mitigate on the suffering that our people are suffering now. I am more concerned about those old, harmless citizens in Kariobangi, in Ruai, who are suffering in this rain, and what is it that we can do as leaders to help them mitigate the suffering that they are undergoing.
There's a point that you've actually brought out, is that you've said if you're given the opportunity to finish, are there threats to actually remove you? Now that we saw even in the Senate there were those in the leadership, precisely the majority leader and the chief and the majority whip, who were actually de-whipped last week, and we even hear of murmurs of a probability of a parliamentary group meeting of the National Assembly members where you come out as a serious target with regards to this. Have you been faced with that? Because you've said rightly that if you're given the opportunity to finish your work.
I said if given the opportunity because, you know, I serve at the pleasure of the members of the committee as a committee chair. Unfortunately for me, or fortunately for me, I don't need a parliamentary group meeting to remove me. You only need members of Budget and Appropriations Committee. There has been an attempt before. There was an attempt last year. I think they managed to get 2 signatures. And that tells you it has nothing, and it would have nothing to do with my performance as chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee. Members of my committee have expressed their confidence in my leadership of the committee. In fact, I was surprised the other day to hear the leader of majority and also the leader of minority, John Mbadi, say it on record in the House that since the 10th Parliament where they served, John Mbadi said he served in the 10th Parliament under Elias Mbawe as the chair of the Budget Committee. In the 11th Parliament under Mutava Musimi, Aden Duale said the same thing, and John Mbadi is still a member of my committee in the 12th Parliament. And they have said so far, I think they have seen the most reasonable and well-performing chair in the Budget and Appropriations Committee. And I think it's largely because I'm guided on what government policy is being pushed and how do we assist government to push their policies, at the same time provide meaningful oversight. Of course, we have stepped on a few toes here and there, and I have no apologies to make for that. I will tell you, for instance, when I declined and I moved an amendment to decline the payment of the Ruaraka land scandal, the 1.5 billion shillings, I did with reasons. If I was given another opportunity today, I would still decline the payment. We have declined others and stepped on wrong toes here and there. Therefore, those are really nothing to be concerned about. And I think my concern now is not on the politics. My concern now is on the suffering that the Kenyan people are undergoing now with COVID, with the rains wreaking havoc across the country. I am more concerned about those issues and how, as leaders, we should be mitigating. The 2022 politics, the William Ruto politics, that again should not be a concern today. It's astounding that people are spending time on William Ruto. And I'm happy that wherever he is, he's taking it in his stride and trusting in his God and working to help the people that he's helping, be it with food or all the other help I've seen him doing.
Now, you've brought out that aspect and the William Ruto aspect, is that those who have been very close to him have actually become serious targets in this purge. You are one of them, and you have in the past said that you are unapologetically supporting him. If push comes to shove, now that you're saying that you are, even if it was being targeted, it is not because of your performance, will you come to that point where you will say that, let me focus on my work and leave this politics of William Samoei Ruto aside?
Let me say this, Mureithi. I have told you, even right now, my focus is on work. And over the last 3 years that I have chaired the Budget and Appropriations Committee, and maybe just for information, the Budget and Appropriations Committee term inevitably is coming to an end, I think, this September or October. Therefore, with removal or without removal, the term of the current Budget and Appropriations Committee, it goes for 3 years. So it's coming to an end. And it's up to our parties, our individual parties, to select new members or allow the current members to continue beyond the end of the term this year. I think we came in October or September, end of September of 2017. Therefore, our term is coming to an end. And I was saying, in these last 3 years, my focus, when it comes to my parliamentary work, just like in my constituency, I focus on work, politics aside. I may not agree with Kennedy Mureithi on a particular political issue. And that is how, as chair of a budget where you are chairing a committee that has leadership from the minority, has members of parliament from all the other parties, including independent members of parliament, you're able to balance all the interests and ensure that the government agenda is pushed forth. I would therefore challenge anybody to come and tell me, under your leadership, Kimani Ichung'wah, there is a certain government policy or agenda that government wanted to push that we have not been able to push because of that.
What is happening in your party right now?
In terms of the intimidation and coercion that has been going on, I will tell you, Mureithi, it is nothing new. In 2018, they called me and told me they will kill me if I do not stop following what they call following William Ruto. The same threats to life have continued. You remember our security were withdrawn. Just recently, last week, Susan Kehika's security was withdrawn, Kipchumba Murkomen's. And mind you, these people are not given security. Kipchumba Murkomen, for instance, I saw in your newspaper saying that he had 5 security guards. I know Kipchumba Murkomen had only 1 bodyguard. Only 1, as much as he was entitled to 5. He's entitled to a parliamentary car. It was broken down, he was not even using it. Therefore, if it is targeting members of parliament to coerce them, I saw yesterday Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah and Oscar Sudi speaking from Eldoret, talking about efforts to even now begin inciting ethnic communities in the Rift Valley, all for politics' sake. I saw Kimani Ichung'wah and Oscar Sudi speak about Kimani Ichung'wah being trailed, and we have had the same experiences. I will tell you, when William Ruto and when the reports came in about the Lamada issue, it was never investigated. What happened? We saw Dennis Itumbi, a blogger, being arrested on charges that are still ongoing in court. Let's not talk about what is going on in court. But were the veracity of the claims of assassination pursued or investigated? When we reported to DCI, because not myself I have reported, no investigations. I know at least 2-3 other members of parliament that support the deputy president that have reported death threats to DCI and to the investigative authorities. And nothing has happened. Therefore, I will say, if you want to take this country back to the era of political assassinations, it will be very unfortunate. But the tenacity of the Kenyan people to go for what they want, you will not stop it by killing Kimani Ichung'wah. You will not stop it by killing Kimani Ichung'wah. You will not stop it by killing Alice Wahome, or apparently because that time, and I've said it in a station, there was a plan, a mooted plan to even assassinate a bodyguard of a member of parliament apparently to instill fear. Therefore, instilling fear, trying to intimidate people, that will continue. We are ready for it. If you think you will intimidate me with death, if you think you will intimidate me with removing me as a chair of a committee, or even recalling me as a member of parliament to change a stand I believe in, please try another one.
Thank you very much. Well, back to you, Zainab, in the studio. It's an interesting story that we'll be preparing for later on in the night, or probably in our subsequent bulletins, now that he says he is not afraid by the threats that may come his way.